This is the part that mounts to the sink. It's called the flange. And now underneath it, the disposer is connected to the flange by this locking ring. I'm going to pull that off and disconnect it. This is called the splash guard. This is the thing that keeps the water from coming up when the disposer's on. I'm going to just pull that off. And now it lets us see down inside it. I brought a cutaway. All right, so here is where the water and the food go from the sink. This is actually where the dishwasher discharges into the disposer.
When we run our dishwasher, it often backs up into the sink.
Right, well it would. Imagine if this was clogged up right here. This cutter wheel was all clogged, the water would want to back up and just try to seep through there. So now, right here is the way that it works. This is the cutter wheel right here, and this thing spins. You can see the big cutter head right here. And what it does, it breaks up the food with these big heads, but it also drives it against these small teeth. You see them right there on the side? So now as this thing turns away, it will puree the food. So the food will now drop down to this lower level and it'll be pushed out through this discharge pipe right here. So this spins around like crazy. It spins because there's a motor right here. So when you turn that switch on, the motor spins this around. And what we often find is that either there's too much food or maybe a foreign matter like a fork or a turkey pin or something like that might get down in here and bind into these teeth. And when that does, the motor can't turn anymore. You'll hear it start to hum and start to hum. And to protect it from overheating, most disposers have a little switch down here. It's a lot like a circuit breaker that'll trip. So you can see there's a little button at the bottom right here. And if the thing overloaded, it would pop. Okay? So if it has overloaded, there's a reason for it. We have to find what the reason is, and so we'd start by trying to clear that wheel. Most manufacturers provide an Allen wrench like this. And you can see this shaft. See it going all the way to the bottom? Right at the very bottom, there's an Allen opening right here that takes this Allen wrench. So now you put this in, and now you'll notice that I can turn this manually back and forth, back and forth. And if there was something up in here, it might clear it.
Now, if there was a fork jammed in, how would you get that out?
Well, you try to clear it with this, but if you couldn't, and you could actually look down and see the fork there, you'd pull it out or take a needle nose pliers and get it out. Okay? Sometimes you have to step it up to a higher level of torque. Many times you'll take a couple of broomsticks and you put these opposing one another and you'll turn that wheel this way. And this is a wrench that I would use as a pro because you can fit it down in through the splash guard. It comes down, it seats right down on the deck, and now you got plenty of torque to spin that thing.
Now, is that just down the bottom?
Yeah,
underneath?
you'll feel right in the center. Okay, and you might want to hold back against the disposer too because you don't want to spin it right off the bottom of the sink.
Yeah, that thing just won't budge.
All right, so we might need to use a different wrench. I can get a lot more torque out of this thing. It gets right down onto those teeth. All right, I'm going back counterclockwise. Come on. Oh, I got it.
Did you get it?
I did. I think I got it.
Here, it's turning down here.
All right, so let me just pull that out and give it the test. Huh?
Sounds great.
Fantastic.
Not bad.